He's Jeff King. I'm Andy Erickson. This is not another shooting show. We go to Crossville, Tennessee, where an intoxicated male had police sent to him because he accidentally shot himself in the crotch.
Oops.
An officer made contact with the man. His name was Damian Vaughn. He was laying on the ground next to a gray Chevy Malibu. His shorts were drenched in blood at the crotch. Vaughn said he'd been driving from Pleasant Hill after having consumed 5 beers. He was appendix carrying his gun, which means he had it holster. We know what that means. That's for the normies reading this. Anyway, he tried to pull it out while driving. That is when the gun went off, passing through the top of his testicles and continuing through the bottom of his testicle. So he shot himself in the sack.
God. Ow.
Well, better the sack than the dick, though.
True.
Like, definitely. Anyway, fire and EMS arrived on the scene to assist Vaughn with his sack. Was taken to the hospital for care. The official police report described his testicles as swollen and larger than a softball. Okay.
Yeah.
And deep purple to the point they were almost black. Now, like, did he have rat shot in the thing, or like?
Yeah, I'm trying. My brain.
I mean, there's trauma. I suppose did everything swell down there just because he shot himself in the sack, or did like?
Maybe this might be a dumb statement, but maybe it was like the concussion of the gun going off.
Could
like
be
the muzzle blast.
Can you imagine how much worse that would be than just normal getting hit in the nuts?
Right, like I mean. And then he like threw it out the window because, once you shoot yourself, you're like, ugh.
Police, of course, found a Taurus G3C 9mm pistol in the passenger floorboard with 10 rounds in the magazine and one spent 9mm casing on the driver floorboard.
along with multiple empty beer cans.
Yeah. And the beer cans also in there. So anyway, yeah.
Don't pull out your gun while you're driving.
No, dry fire while driving. Don't live fire while driving.
Correct.
Dry fire. If you're carrying a loaded pistol while driving, pulling it out is a really bad idea.
Like, nope. No positive I can think of.
Nope. That's not something I've ever done. Okay. Let's see. What else do we have here? I gotta. Oh yeah. This is sort of a newsy thing. Paul Harrell died. Who's Paul Harrell? Some people don't know who Paul Harrell is. Paul Harrell is one of the OG gun tubers. He was very, very funny. He liked revolvers, and he liked, Didn't
he do like ballistics tests in like pigs or like sides of meat or something?
Yeah, he would do like ballistics testing. Very unscientific ballistics testing, but it was fun. Like, it was good content. This was the guy that Ben Steger was shit talking, not realizing, and somebody's like, "Hey, he's dying of cancer," and he's like, "Well, I didn't know that when he,
right."
Like a few months ago, we talked about this. It was like, it wasn't malicious. It was just like, I don't like his content of like describing how to shoot a pistol. Was right. All he was saying, and it coincided with that, so it was a little accidental.
Right. And I gotta say, Paul Harrell, like, I never consumed his content. It wasn't really my cup of tea. I don't even know.
No, me either.
I don't know that. I can't even think that I've watched one of his videos, but
he was like a super nice guy. And he actually, the last video was him apologizing for dying.
Yeah. It's a pretty baller way to go out. It's basically the title of the video is "I'm Dead," and he's basically like, "Hey, if you're watching this, I'm dead." Like, and so there's no one with a negative comment towards him, which in the modern YouTube gun world is an impressive statement to make. Like,
yeah, I mean, the most negative things that would be said was that he was fuddy. You know, he was older, old school, whatever. It wasn't.
He had his style.
Yeah, I mean, he was different. Anyway, but like, I remember when I first got into shooting. Like, I remember watching some of his videos back around 2012, 13. Somewhere in that vicinity. I dry fired this morning, Jeff.
Oh, did you know?
This is something that's not in the rundown, but it was something I thought of that I wanted to mention real quick. I learned something really important today, and maybe it's something I knew before and had forgotten because I've been kind of switching around guns a little bit.
Yep.
And watching some of my videos from Free State, I was a little, and even the classifier match the other day, I was slow on my first shot. You know, I got scoop draw, you know, fast first shot.
Yep.
But something was off. Like I was slower to shoot than I should have been, especially on that trigger freeze classifier. Like there's a target 3 yards away. I should be like hosing as soon as the gun's up. And I'm dry firing this morning going, okay, what's going on? Okay, back to basics. Like basics for me when it comes to drawing or reloading, there are things I need to complete before I finish. So when it comes to reloading, I have to bring gun into body, and then I have shorter distance for mag to go into gun, and then I regrip before I push it back out again. Or at least I start regripping before I push it back out again.
Okay.
And when I do that, like, boom, dots on target. Everything's good.
Yep.
And when I'm drawing, I'm constantly like, the dot was just high. Like, my index was off. And I don't know why. It got off. I hadn't adjusted. And I'm like, I'm trying to tell myself too, like, well, just make sure when you get it up, the gun's pointed further down. Well, and it wasn't happening. Like, I'm like, fuck. Okay. Back to basics. What do you always teach people on draws? Make sure you actually rotate the gun before you start pushing it out. And on the very first draw, like, I mean, I'm still scooping. I'm still going fast as fuck. But I made sure, like, the gun was totally rotated downrange towards the target, towards where I'm looking, like, before my left hand even was making contact. Like, as soon as it's clearing the holster, boom, I'm imagining it's pointing at the target. Like, I'm rotating my wrist up that far. And boom, every single time, dot, on target, money.
Yep.
Every time. Like, some of those little things that even though you know what you're doing, you forget.
Right.
And it's literally something I teach people when I'm teaching them to draw a pistol is, no, it's faster if you rotate the gun forward before you push it out. Like, rotate the gun, other hand grabs, then push out. Anything else is going to slow you down.
I'm going to have you show me that in person sometime because my brain is not wrapping around it. And, like, I was talking with Lane either 2 Sundays ago or last Sunday, and we were talking about, like, building an index. And I'm like, I don't know how to build an index because I just built it. Like,
well, if you don't have to, then don't overthink it. Like, it's fine.
Well, but the context was over the conversation of teaching newbies, like, because he was teaching a like a squad of cops or something like that.
Oh yeah,
and he was talking about helping build an index, and I was like, I don't even remember, like, going through the process of doing that. Like, it just happened over time. And
with irons, you can kind of. You learn it automatically on the fly because you watch them come into alignment, you know?
Right.
But then you realize that's slow, and now this is aligned, so I'm just going to put my hands there when I'm done. And
right.
And, I mean, the dot is kind of the same way, but I don't know. For me, there's always, like, little things that I found that make it a little faster, you know, like drawing in the direction of your holster orientation, you know, whatever the front back angle is, whatever that fancy word Andreas Yankopoulos said on our show a few weeks ago. I don't remember what it is. Like, grab it the way the grip is, but pull it in that direction, which, you know, is probably either straight up or maybe slightly back, depending on how you have that rotated. Or if you got an FBI cant, you're going to be yanking it forward.
Oh, God. I fucking hate those at matches. When they're like, all right, and they like pull it out, and it's still part of the draw, but it feels like it's pointing, like, straight back at your foot if you're the RO. And
that's why those holsters are why there's a 3-foot rule on the draw. Like, those holsters are okay.
Okay.
Like, that's what the point of that rule is.
Yeah.
I recently learned. But
Makes
anyway.
sense.
So yeah, it was just a little. No, I mean, did it make sense though what I'm doing with my hand?
My brain's not picturing it. It could be fatigue, or it could be I'll
try and explain it as simple as possible. Okay, hand on gun.
Yep.
Okay, pull straight up. You know, to where, you know, it's to the point, to the millisecond it's out of holster, right?
Okay.
So right about then is when you're tipping the barrel up towards the target, right?
Okay.
Or do you just swing your whole arms out there?
I just swing my whole arm out there.
Okay. Like, try turning your wrist and building your grip in tighter and then push it out. I promise you it will be, it does not seem like it would be faster. It's faster.
Okay. I'll play with that.
Like
no clicking of guns on the podcast. So
yeah.
I will try that later.
Put it together before you push it out.
Yep.
Anyway, that's it. That's all.
Okay. That makes sense. Cause yeah, I think I build mine kind of meeting out towards almost where the gun is supposed to be. And so I see what you're saying.
Okay. So, somebody, we never have names. We just have like the user handles in Reddit. Somebody put a beautiful one up just 5 hours ago. A great topic to discuss. A classification for ROs, CROs, and RMs. Like A class,
okay.
B class, C class, master, grandmaster. Wouldn't it be great if there was a way to classify officials on the same scale we classify shooters? It would certainly help MDs choose the best staff. And as a C-class senior shooter, I know I'll never make GM, but as a retiree, I have the time to RO and CRO any major I want to shoot. Achieving GM status would be a nice target. What criteria should be used? Ooh. If you want to know what criteria should be used, I'm afraid you're going to have to become a Patreon subscriber. Patreon.com/NotAnotherShootingShow. Just $3.57 a month, and you get an extra episode every single week, and you get the whole thing.